This is Nightline and I'm Ahmad Hamdan, news making the headlines. Zain Ryan's murder case, parents remanded for a week. And Hannah Yeoh welcomes MACC probe over DRT project. Good morning. We begin with this headlining story. The parents of a 6-year-old autistic boy, Zain Ryan Abdul Matin, who was found dead in Damansara Damai in December last year, were remanded for 7 days by the Petaling Jaya Magistrates Court. The husband and wife, both aged 28, appeared before Magistrate Azura Muhammad Saad for the remand application. It was previously reported that the parents were detained at about 10:05 a.m. on Friday in Puncak Alam, Selangor. The victim was reported missing from his residential area on December 6 before his body was discovered in a nearby creek around 10 p.m. that night. A group of residents searching the area made the discovery about 200 meters from the boy's home. An autopsy revealed injuries to Zain's neck and body consistent with a criminal act, indicating the child was murdered. However, police have not released any potential motives or details about the couple's alleged involvement at this stage of the investigation. Meanwhile, the victim's parents' lawyer, Mahmud Jumaat, when contacted, urged the public not to speculate until the investigation of the case is completed.
Dan kita tidak tahu lagi siapa lagi yang bakal dituduh. Sekiranya dah habis kesihatan nanti dan apabila kesihatan telah dilengkapkan antara kepada pihak penawar raya dan mungkin pada waktu itu kita boleh tahulah siapa yang suspek utama untuk kes ini. Sangat terkejut ialah bahawa DS adalah ibu kepada mangsa, ibu bapa bermangsa, dan ini adalah satu perkara yang tidak dijangkakan. Itulah saya pun agak terkejut juga.
In the meantime, any decision to reinvestigate the location where Zain Ryan's body was found, as well as his home, will depend on the needs of the investigation. Selangor Police Chief Datuk Hussein Omar Khan said that police currently need further statements from the parents of the 6-year-old autistic boy before proceeding. He said the arrest of the victim's parents was based on intelligence from the day of the incident until now, and this was to facilitate the investigation. On December 5th, Zain Ryan's mother revealed in her social media post that her 6-year-old son went missing. A day later, a search operation was launched involving the Fire and Rescue Department, the Royal Malaysian Police and K9 tracker dogs around the Idaman apartment area in Damansara Damai. The child's body was found by residents at a riverbank 100 meters from his family residence at approximately 10 p.m. Initially, the case was classified by the police as sudden death. However, on December 7th, Selangor Police Chief Datuk Hussein Omar Khan confirmed that the child was murdered following a post-mortem report which indicated injuries to the body. The case was then classified as murder, with probe conducted according to Section 302 of the Penal Code. On December 10th, police recorded the statements of 48 individuals involving family members, neighbors and other witnesses, and took DNA samples from 228 people in the housing area. Police also conducted inspections on 5,628 residents involving 2,484 houses. On December 13th, police found a sock near the victim's body, while the crime scene investigation team were looking for evidence and fresh leads. A day later, police received information from 2 witnesses claiming to have seen Zain Ryan on levels 2 and 3 of Block R of the apartment at approximately 5 p.m. of the day the victim was reported missing. The federal police also sought the assistance of the international police, Interpol, to screen the database relating to some information obtained from the results of the investigation. This year, on May 8th, the Bukit Aman CID Chief, Datuk Seri Muhammad Shuhaili Muhammad Zain, stressed that police never closed the investigation into the murder case and were still waiting for new leads. Selangor Police Chief Datuk Hussein Omar Khan confirmed that Zain Ryan's parents were arrested at Puncak Alam, Selangor at about 10 a.m. on Friday. And on Saturday, Zain Ryan's parents were remanded for 7 days at the Petaling Jaya Magistrates Court to facilitate probe under Section 302 of the Penal Code for murder. Youth and Sports Minister Hannah Yeoh said she welcomes the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission MACC to investigate the appointment of the company co-founded by her husband with regards to a public transport project. Yeoh said she wants to see the truth relating to the issue, and so do Malaysians. In her social media post, Yeoh said it was not appropriate for her to comment on the matter because it could interfere with the investigation which is being carried out by authorities. Therefore, Yeoh, who is also the Segambut Member of Parliament, refused to issue any statement and left it to the related authority to investigate. It was reported on Friday that the MACC had received several new complaints relating to the project, which involves Asia Mobility Technologies Sdn Bhd. Yeoh's husband, M. Ramachandran, is the company's Chief Executive Officer. Moving on, Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim has called for the youth to integrate and incorporate the wealth of Islamic knowledge and heritage books, or Turath, into the corpus of artificial intelligence AI technology. He said this was to prevent the technology from being dominated by Western elements and materials.
Kalau AI itu nak dikembangkan di Malaysia, yang sedang saya asak dengan kuat supaya universiti dan ada fakulti AI dan sebagainya. Kalau mau berjaya, kita mesti latih anak-anak kita yang punya kemahiran, kepakaran AI, artificial intelligence itu untuk memasukkan, memuatkan khazanah ilmu Islam dan turath dalam korpus AI.
Anwar said this in a speech before launching the Riyadus Salihin Imam Al-Nawawi seminar at Masjid Sultan Salahuddin Abdul Aziz Shah in Shah Alam, Selangor on Saturday. He said Malaysia could not be left behind by the technological advancements and rapid developments currently introduced. Among present were former Grand Imam of Egypt, Professor Dr. Ali Jum'ah, Quantum Akhia Institute Islamic Studies Centre Director Dr. Adi Hidayat and Selangor Menteri Besar Datuk Seri Amiruddin Shari. The Foreign Ministry, through the Consulate General of Malaysia in Los Angeles, United States, confirmed that a Malaysian climber had passed away during an expedition at Mount Denali in Alaska. Efforts to bring down the body by local authorities are ongoing. However, this would depend on the weather conditions. In a statement on Saturday, Wisma Putra reported that the Consulate General has been in touch with the next of kin of the deceased and is extending consular assistance. The ministry has also confirmed that 2 other Malaysian climbers have been hospitalized and are receiving appropriate medical treatment. It noted that the Consulate General is closely monitoring their health and extending consular assistance, adding that any latest developments will be provided periodically. 37-year-old Zulkifli Yusuf reportedly died at 6 a.m. local time on May 29th while taking shelter in a snow cave known as the football field. The cause of death is suspected to be high-altitude cerebral edema and hypothermia and will be confirmed through a post-mortem. Another climber, 47-year-old Zainuddin Lot, was rescued on Friday and is currently receiving treatment at a hospital in Talkeetna, Alaska. He has frostbite on both hands, but his condition is stable. The first of the 3 stranded climbers, Muhammad Ilham Isha, also aged 47, was rescued by rangers from Denali National Park and Preserve after he went down to get help on May 28th. Ilham also suffered from frostbite and was sent to a hospital in Anchorage for treatment. The trio started the expedition to reach the peak of North America's highest mountain on May 12th. It was reported that park rangers received an SOS message from the 3 climbers early Tuesday morning after they were unable to descend from the summit as they were hypothermic. However, rescuers were unable to reach them due to bad weather. The Education Ministry MOE has vowed to ensure that the welfare of the Year 5 pupil who suffered from a heat stroke after being forced by a teacher to stand under the sun is taken care of. Its Minister Fadlina Sideh also stressed that the ministry will not compromise on any issue of power abuse involving discipline linked to teachers in schools.
Maknanya anak murid ni adalah murid KPM yang kita akan beri perhatian lah. Tapi maknanya dalam konteks maknanya memastikan bahawa kebajikan dia itu terjaga lah. Ya?
Fadlina said this after officiating an event at the National Science Centre in Kuala Lumpur on Saturday. She added that the ministry has handed the case over to the authorities and is awaiting the report to be submitted at the ministry level. She also assured that the MOE is giving full cooperation to the authorities for their investigations. On Wednesday, the boy's 35-year-old mother said Ampang Hospital had already given the family a reference letter for her son to be assessed as a person with disability due to his health issues. It is understood that the 11-year-old now has a nerve condition as a result of the heat stroke. It was reported on Monday that the boy had to be rushed to hospital after being made to stand under the sun for almost 3 hours. In efforts to provide a premier gathering point for parents seeking resources, support and connections in order to navigate the complexities of modern parenting, local health and wellness brand for babies, Abercrombie, has launched the Abercrombie Parenthood Community APC. Designed to empower parents, APC offers a platform for engagement as well as exchange of knowledge and experience with a diverse group of families. Pre-launched at a local baby fair, the MC Baby Expo at the Pavilion Bukit Jalil Exhibition Centre in Kuala Lumpur, APC members will have the opportunity to participate in regular meetups and online forums designed to support parents in various aspects of child rearing, from health and nutrition to education and play.
We launched APC because we wanted to provide parents with a bigger sense of support beyond just our diapers. And we thought that what better way than to collaborate with other brands. And so we are so excited that we have collaborated with KPJ and Kiddo Care, and they will be working with us throughout the year to be able to provide more experiences for parents.
We do have a very special promotions and also bundle only at MC Baby Expo. Antaranya, kita ada Abercrombie Gentle Shampoo and Bath Wash for only RM1. For our best seller Honey Manuka Wet Wipes pun cuma RM1 sahaja. And all mommy daddies boleh redeem kita punya pink large tote bag for free. Dan on the 1st of June 2024, we do have a special appearance from our A-list celebrity, which is Eri Zakri, Shamil and also the baby Kaula, because they have been vouched for our Abercrombie products.
Still to come, 20 drowned to death in Afghanistan boat accident. Don't go away.
Hai, Assalamualaikum. Saya Amir Masdi.
Saya Ana Jobling.
Saya Azhan Rani. Saya Syarif Zero yang mengucapkan
selamat menyambut ulang tahun yang ke-40 kepada TV3.
Agar TV3 akan terus menjadi stesen pujaan ramai,
terus menghiburkan kami semua.
TV3 menggabungkan kita di atas pentas. Selamat Hari TV3.
Inspirasi generasi TV3.
Rasa sedih lah, susah lah dia. Rasa selama ni saya yang selalu bergantung kepada saya untuk perbelanjaan dia hari-hari. Sekarang ni kita dah tak dapat bagi duit. Pasal ibu dia yang ambil alih tugas saya.
Terpaksa lah buat. Sebab kalau tak buat macam tu, macam mana kita orang nak ada pendapatan lah.
Mereka dilahirkan sebagai insan istimewa. Ibu bapa perlu memahami apakah developmental milestone. Namun, kelebihan dimiliki menjangkau kemampuan ramai.
Sebahagian autism mereka tak mukallaf.
Autism tak kenal maka tak cinta. Kupasannya dalam Hello Doktor, Ahad 5.30 petang di TV3 dan stream juga melalui Tonton.
On to the foreign news. Israeli leader Benjamin Netanyahu said there could be no permanent ceasefire in Gaza until Hamas was destroyed. casting doubt on a key part of a truce proposal that US President Joe Biden said Israel itself had made. In a statement on Saturday, Netanyahu said any notion that Israel would agree to a permanent ceasefire before the destruction of Hamas's military and governing capabilities was a non-starter. Biden previously claimed that Israel had proposed a deal involving an initial 6-week truce with a partial Israeli military withdrawal and the release of some hostages, while the two sides negotiated a permanent end to hostilities. In the meantime, the Zionist regime hammered Rafah in southern Gaza with tanks and artillery on Saturday, with witnesses in the east and center of Rafah describing intense artillery shelling. An Israeli bombardment had also targeted a school housing displaced people in the northern part of the Strip, killing 2 Palestinians. According to Gaza's health ministry, at least 95 Palestinians have been killed and 350 injured in the past 24 hours. In Afghanistan, at least 20 people, including children, have drowned after a boat sank during a river crossing in the country's eastern Nangarhar province on Saturday. According to the Nangarhar province's information department, the vessel, which was carrying 25 people, capsized at 7 a.m. local time in the river in the Basawul area of Momandara district. So far, 5 bodies have been retrieved, which include a man, a woman, 2 boys and a girl. Authorities said efforts were still underway to find others, while a medical team and ambulances were sent to the area. The cause of the accident was being investigated. A volcano in Indonesia's eastern island of Halmahera erupted again on Saturday in the latest of nearly 100 eruptions since early this year. According to the country's volcanology agency, the eruption of Mount Ibu occurred at 11:03 a.m. local time, spewing a 5-kilometer high ash cloud leaning towards the southwest. Following this, Indonesia's disaster management agency told local authorities to anticipate secondary disasters such as flash floods and cold lava flow, as analysis by the nation's meteorology agency showed that the region has the potential for moderate to heavy rain. Residents and tourists have also been advised to maintain a distance of at least 7 kilometers from the active crater. India on Saturday voted in the final phase of a long-drawn general election as Prime Minister Narendra Modi seeks a rare third term in a poll focused on inequality and religion. The 7th round of polls covered 57 constituencies across 7 states and 1 union territory, with more than 100 million people registered to vote. It will complete a national election to fill all 543 seats in the powerful lower house of parliament. The votes will be counted on Tuesday, with results expected by the end of the day. Modi's Hindu nationalist Bharatiya Janata Party (BJP), battling an opposition alliance of 24 parties led by Rahul Gandhi's Congress, is widely expected to keep its majority in the election, with more than 1 billion registered voters. If Modi wins, he will be only the 2nd Indian leader to retain power for a 3rd term after the country's first Prime Minister, Jawaharlal Nehru. Alcaraz to face Auger Aliassime for a place in the last 8. Sports right after this breather.
selamat ulang tahun yang ke-40.
Kepada TV3, happy birthday to us. Hari ini birthday saya juga. Gembira untuk TV3 kerana bertahan selama 40 tahun ini.
Thank you so much untuk TV3.
Semoga terus maju dan terus sukses hendaknya.
Inspirasi generasi TV3. Selamat Hari TV3.
Warna-warni ulang tahun ke-40 TV3, bakat personaliti TV, inspirasi generasi dunia penyiaran. Apa cita-cita Aisyah?
Nak jadi pengacara TV, asal mungkin nanti boleh ganti Hati Mira.
Nampak tak?
Saya sangat berbangga menjadi pengacara yang pertama launch TV3.
Bila you bekerja TV3, you jadi host, at the same time, you juga adalah wartawan penyiaran. You buat story. It shaped me as a person.
Menuntut keadilan yang terpendam.
Kita kena buat sesuatu. Tak boleh biarkan kumpulan gangster menguasai Kolombo.
Bersumpah pada kebenaran.
Takkan semudah itu untuk dia menyerah kalah.
Inilah perjuangan terakhir demi keamanan. Gerak khas The Finale setiap Ahad 11.30 pagi di TV3 dan stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
We're back with sports hockey, the FIH Men's Nations Cup. A goal in the dying second saw former hockey powerhouse Pakistan come from behind to salvage a point after a 4-4 draw against the national squad on Friday. In the Group B match, the Speedy Tigers drew first blood in the 4th minute through Muhammad Fitri Saari's penalty stroke. Muhammad Azrai Aizat Abu Kamal then increased Malaysia's lead in the 7th minute before Faisal Sari converted a penalty corner in the 11th minute to make it 3-0. Abdul Rahman narrowed the deficit for Pakistan in the 32nd minute, but Muhammad Fitri converted another stroke in the 42nd minute to give Malaysia a comfortable 4-1 lead. The Green Shirts, however, fought back to level the tie at 4-4 through Sufyan Muhammad Khan, Abdul Hanan Shahid and Abu Mahmud to share the spoils. Malaysia will next face France on Sunday and Canada on Wednesday to complete their Group B fixtures. And on to tennis at 2024, Roland Garros. Carlos Alcaraz Garcia sparkled and showed steely resolve in his most convincing match this year with a straight set over American Sebastian Korda on Friday. The world number 3, who is still wearing a compression sleeve on his right arm after a recent injury, outclassed the American 6-4, 7-6, 6-3 to advance to the last 16. Third-seeded Alcaraz will now face Canadian Felix Auger-Aliassime in the next round. In another action, Greek Stefanos Tsitsipas cruised past China's Zhang Jizhen 6-3, 6-3, 6-1, reaching the 4th round for the 6th year in a row. The world number 9's opponent in the next round will be inspired Italian Matteo Arnaldi. Earlier, 23-year-old Arnaldi dominated emotionally charged Andrei Rublev for a 7-6, 6-2, 6-4 victory to equal his best Grand Slam run. In the match, 6-seeded Rublev ranted and raged at himself, thumping his racket into his legs as another chance at a deep Grand Slam run came to a bitter end. In the women's category, Poland's 3-times champion Iga Świątek gave herself the perfect gift for her 23rd birthday with a dominant 6-4, 6-2 victory over Czech Marie Buskova. The defending champion is through to the last 16, where she will play Anastasia Potapova, who overcame the challenge of Wang Xinyu in 3 sets. Meanwhile, world number 4, Elina Rybakina, continued to fly under the radar as she enjoyed a routine 6-4, 6-2 win over Belgium's Elise Mertens. Rybakina, a former Wimbledon champion, will face Ukraine's 19th-ranked Elina Svitolina or 64th-ranked Romanian Anna Bogdan in the 4th round. Coming up, international drug syndicate busted. Over 11 million ringgit worth of drugs seized. Don't go away.
Tahukah anda bahawa TV3 menyambut ulang tahunnya yang ke-40 pada tahun ini?
Syukur Alhamdulillah telah memiliki usia yang cukup matang dalam dunia penyiaran.
Dan sepanjang saya membesar di TV3 ni,
banyak memori-memori yang saya dah pun ada bersama dengan TV3. Kami ini, saya sendiri diberi tanggungjawab untuk menggembirakan hati penonton. Jadi selamat ulang tahun ke-40 TV3. Inspirasi generasi TV3. Mereka dilahirkan sebagai insan istimewa. Ibu bapa perlu memahami apakah developmental milestone. Namun, kelebihan dimiliki menjangkau kemampuan ramai.
Sebahagian autism mereka tak mukallaf.
Autism tak kenal maka tak cinta. Kupasannya dalam Hello Doktor, Ahad 5.30 petang di TV3 dan stream juga melalui Tonton.
Warna-warni ulang tahun ke-40 TV3, bakat personaliti TV, inspirasi generasi dunia penyiaran. Apa cita-cita Aisyah?
Nak jadi pengacara TV asal mungkin nanti boleh ganti Haji Mira.
Nampak tak?
Saya sangat berbangga menjadi pengacara yang pertama launch TV3.
Bila you bekerja TV3, you jadi host, at the same time, you juga adalah wartawan penyiaran. You buat story. It shaped me as a person.
Nightline continues. In Johor, police have crippled an international drug syndicate, seizing about 200 kilograms of drugs worth 11.6 million ringgit in 7 simultaneous raids on luxury houses in Johor Bahru, Sri Alam and Iskandar Putri on Monday. Bukit Aman Narcotics Crime Investigation Department NCID Director Datuk Kao Kok Chin said 14 suspects were arrested in the raids. Police also seized 1.2 million ringgit worth of items believed to be ill-gotten, including 6 cars, Rolex watches, several pieces of jewellery, as well as cash amounting to 204,069 ringgit and Singapore dollars worth 79,905 ringgit during the raids. The suspects, including 12 foreigners, are aged between 22 and 52. Preliminary investigations showed that 5 of the 12 foreigners arrested during the raids are on the wanted list in their respective countries. The foreigners have past records related to drug abuse, criminal and immigration-related offence. According to Kao, the syndicate's modus operandi involved recruiting certified chemists to purchase prescription drugs in bulk.
Dan di sini MO kalau kita lihat sindiket ini, sindiket antarabangsa yang saya cakap ini, dia telah menyewakan pangsapuri ataupun kondo dan rumah teres yang kadet dan untuk dijadikan sebagai tempat dia untuk memproses, membungkus dan kemudian dia akan menghantarkan barang-barang atas pasaran luar negara. Not pasaran sini, pasaran luar negara.
All the suspects have been remanded until Wednesday to facilitate probe. The case is being investigated under Section 39B of the Dangerous Drugs Act for drug trafficking. And also in Johor, 3 people were killed after the multi-purpose vehicle MPV they were travelling in skidded and crashed into a 2-metre deep ditch in the Sultan Iskandar Highway in Johor Bahru on Saturday. The victims were identified as Chu Wei Yen, 27, Ao Siu Chen, 35, and Chu Wan Ro, 30. Johor Bahru North District Deputy Police Chief Superintendent Yusuf Othman said in the incident that happened at 8:10 a.m., all victims died at the scene. He said the MPV was travelling from Bukit Indah towards Johor Bahru before it went out of control. It is understood that the driver, Wan Ro, lost control of the vehicle before it skidded to the left shoulder of the road and plunged into a drain with a depth of water of about 3 meters as it had just stopped raining. All victims were believed to have succumbed to internal injuries. The case is being investigated under the Road Transport Act 1987 for causing death by reckless or dangerous driving. And that wraps up this edition of Nightline. We leave you with visuals of multiple dragon boats making their debuts in central China's Hunan province ahead of the Dragon Boat Festival, which falls on June 10th this year. With that, I'm Muhammad Hamdan. Thanks for tuning in and take care.